If we thought that Loren couldn't go any lower, lower the bar, guys, because Loren is flirting with teenagers. Hello everyone and welcome back to Chisme Corner. Today we are covering the latest episode of Before the 90 Days. First off, let's start with Vanja. Vanja decided to listen to her cousin, downloaded some dating apps, went on a date, and the date didn't go as expected. However, she is off to another date with this other guy named Yosko. This is how Vanja describes him.
He is built like a Greek god, huge arms and washboard abs.
Me personally, I'm not attractive to him, but that's Vanja and that's her choice. Vanja's personality is something that I personally love, but I know that for some people it might be intimidating, especially for some men. It might just turn them off to have someone that is so bubbly, so affectionate, so out there. But what I do appreciate about her is that she doesn't sugarcoat it. Right off the bat, when she meets this guy, she's already showing him her personality, and I appreciate that a lot.
You look amazing.
Thank you, you too.
Are you gonna be hot in that outfit kayaking?
They go off to their date, and Vanja is drooling over this guy. She sees him and she's just like, oh my God. He's taking his clothes off and she can't like speak right now.
He has a perfect bubble butt. You cannot not look.
And talking about her energy, Yosko seems to enjoy it. He doesn't have a problem with it and he finds it attractive. So I love that because that was the problem with both shows. But Yosko is over here like, I love it.
Oh, wow.
Once they get out of the water, oh my God. It was just so awkward at times for me as a viewer watching. I felt like I was intruding in their space. He comes out and he's already making jokes about his eggplant shrinking, and Vanja is over there like she's trying not to look, but she's definitely looking. And the cameraman, you guys are so messy because sometimes, like right now, they pan towards that direction and we're just sitting there like, why are you doing this? Right after the date, they go to her apartment, and the guy does say that he was a little surprised that Vanja invited him to the apartment, but he's happy because he likes her, and they're having a conversation where he shares that he's actually fostering a 1-year-old and he's about to adopt him. And Vanja hears this and she's just like, oh my God. This is so insane. I love it.
I just love that about him. I think that it makes him even a better person.
I hope that she's not seeing this as like, oh, this is the next guy I'm gonna get in a relationship with because you just met him. And just because he's fostering a child and going to adopt a child does not mean that he's an incredible guy. You know, you still have to get to know these people. I think that's what worries me about Vanja at times, that she just rushes into things without really thinking about them. And if this is just a fling, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I don't care. But if it's something like, oh, I'm gonna get in a relationship with this guy that I just met, maybe we should take a couple steps back.
But I am open to, you know, being a potential stepmom for a child.
After Vanja says this, it kind of made me think that she is actually trying to pursue a relationship with this guy. And maybe there is situations where you get into a relationship quickly and it works out. And if that is the case, I hope it works for her. But right off the bat, I'm already questioning many things. Like,
so when do I get to see you again?
When would you like?
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
the fact that this guy is on a date with her today and he's gonna go on a date with her tomorrow, who's watching the child? If you're fostering the kid and you're a single parent, who's watching him? Why haven't I heard who's taking care of the child? It just makes me wonder, like, where is the kid? But let's move over to the next couple. Now let's talk about Ingrid and Brian. Ingrid is walking down the beach talking about how she asked Brian for some time and some space because after finding out that he has been in multiple marriages, has had multiple engagements.
Eu não falo com ele desde a noite passada. Eu falei pro Brian que eu preciso.
She's, you know, doubting this relationship and just thinking if this is really what she wants. And Brian doesn't think this is a big deal. I think it's a big deal. If you have been in many marriages in the past, there has to be something wrong with you. You have to stop and look at yourself and go, isn't me. Am I the problem? And in regards to Brian, he is the problem. And even after everything, Ingrid still wants this to work out. But she wants more answers from Brian. Why are you doing this?
Perdeu meu tempo e ser só mais uma na lista, uma brasileira na lista.
Am I just a number to you? Am I just another Brazilian woman in your list? And also the fact that every single time she starts getting closer to Brian, something happens. So she definitely wonders, what if we get closer and closer again and he drops another bomb on me?
So yesterday, Ingrid told me that we need space again. As far as I'm concerned, we have space.
I don't think there's enough space in this world that you can put between someone and you, Brian. Brian says that he does not understand what the word space means. So I actually wanted to look it up on Google and read it off to him so he can remember what it means. It says a continuous area or expanse which is free, available, or unoccupied. Very easy. You could have just opened up your phone and realized what space means, Brian. But yeah, he's playing the victim again, telling us that he does not understand why Ingrid does not want to see him, does not want to talk to you. And to him, it's like, oh, but she's already sleeping in a different apartment, so we're already apart from each other. Yes, but she doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't want to know anything about you right now because you keep lying.
And I don't know how to move forward because I feel like I've done everything and I've tried my best and it just doesn't seem to be working.
He says that Ingrid is the one pulling away, that Ingrid is the one not wanting to be with him, when in reality, this is all your fault. If you would have just been honest with her since the beginning, all of this would have never happened. But here you are. And let's remind you that every single time Ingrid has pulled away from you is because she finds out something that you were hiding from her. So he decides to call his sister, hoping that she's gonna tell him, hey, Brian, you're fine. My little baby, don't worry about it. She's the devil. She doesn't want you. And while they're on the phone, he's complaining about Ingrid.
Marriage, oh, you're married 4 times. How many times you engaged? How many women have you had?
Judging. And that's all that Ingrid does all the time. That conversation started because you and your friend brought it up. Ingrid didn't ask you how many marriages have you had or how many engagements have you had. Your friend brought up your divorce, and then you started talking about the times that you've been engaged and the times that you've been married. So it wasn't even Ingrid the one that brought it up. The judgment came because you lied. Again.
It's not that I need love, right? I'm not needing, but...
You are needy. Every time that Ingrid is away from you, you're just like, where is she? Where is she? It's like an addiction to you. You just can't get enough. And you're always looking for more. When she told you she needed time away from you, you showed up at her house unannounced.
I came thinking that Ingrid was the one, that this would be it.
I think the whole purpose of Brian coming here is needing a caretaker, hoping that Ingrid is going to be okay with taking care of this guy for the rest of her life. And it's so funny to me because when he's talking to his sister, he doesn't tell her the full story. He only gives her little bits and pieces of what benefits him.
Put her to the wall. I put time in this. I put money in this. I want to know what's going on.
I don't want to blame his sister for telling him, hey, you need to talk to her and ask her those questions. If it's not working out, then you need to cut her off, because that is all he's telling her. Remember last time when he shared all the information? Well, not all of it, but he shared some of it. That was for the sex situation. His sister told him, stop acting like an animal. So of course his sister doesn't know exactly what's going on, and she's just giving him the best advice that she can. I also forgot to mention,
every time I go to kiss, it's like grandma kiss, peck on the mouth.
So I went back because I know he's a freaking liar, and I wanted to watch their kissing scenes. Those were not grandma kisses. My grandma does not kiss me like that. Later on that day, Brian was going to reach out to Ingrid, but Ingrid beat him to the punch, and she reached out to him first.
I have a feeling she's not gonna like what I gotta say.
Brian's purpose coming here is to have Ingrid demonstrate to him that she loves him, that she cares for him, and that she wants to proceed with a relationship with him. Not apologizing, not telling us how he's going to be a different person, not taking any accountability for all of his actions.
And I'm hoping she can convince me that she has genuine feelings for him.
Once they sat down, Ingrid tells him, I called you here because every day it's something new. Every day you're telling me something that I didn't know.
Tá sendo muito difícil, tá processando essas coisas que têm acontecido.
Try and I try and I try. And it's just difficult. And Brian is already like, oh.
Tô tentando fazer dar certo assim, sabe?
When Ingrid says that, Brian right away is like, you're not trying. And it's so funny to hear that you're trying because you sleeping in a separate bedroom in another apartment is not trying to me. I already gave you space.
E pra mim tá meio, it's confusing.
Forgetting about all the other times that Ingrid has been like, you know what? I forgive you for lying to me. I forgive you for just being an asshole. All those times, to him, it's not trying. Ingrid tells him, is it not okay for me to relax? Is it not okay for me to have my own space? And he's just like, yeah, but
Mas você nem
Porque
gosta de
cada
mim.
dia.
you don't care for me. You don't like me. And what you say and do is different. And Ingrid's like, well, same for you. And of course it is the same for him. And personally, guys, I think that Ingrid genuinely liked Brian. I think that she had genuine feelings for him and all Brian did was push her away. I would never in my life get in bed with someone wearing what she was wearing in front of the cameras if I didn't like that person.
Deep in my heart, I want to believe what she's saying to me. But what she's showing me in her actions is just not matching up.
Brian is already someone that has constantly lied and has constantly been a POS. And what are you expecting from her? What do you want from her? She's already giving you so much. She brought you around to her mom, to her kid. She almost slept with you, and it was because of you that never happened. So, of course she liked you, but you pushed her away. You did this to yourself.
Os beijos, como tô beijando minha avó.
I think what Brian is expecting is for Ingrid to shove her tongue down his throat in order for him to be like, oh yeah, that is not a grandma kiss. What if she's not comfortable kissing you like that? You can't push someone to be intimate with you and to do the things that you want them to do at all times when you haven't even given them room to feel comfortable with you, to feel safe around you.
I was ready to do whatever necessary and whatever it took to be with him.
It said be honest or care for her, give her space, make her feel comfortable, make her feel safe. But anything else he was willing to do. I wanted to reach onto the screen and just punch Brian. Okay, that's just my honest opinion. Because he starts telling Ingrid, hey, I brought you onto the strip. I gave you this. I gave you that. And I just feel like you don't have good intentions. And you can see Ingrid's face just changing. Her demeanor is like, is this man about to throw that in my face? And yes, he is. I feel like Brian sees this as a currency. I took you on the strip. I let you stay in another apartment. So you need to give me sex. You need to give me kisses. You need to earn those things, Brian. And you don't earn them by buying expensive gifts for people. You don't earn them by buying them a trip. You earn them with love. And you have had zero love this trip. All you've done is lie and manipulate, Ingrid.
Eu tô sentindo ainda que você tá me usando para chegar nos Estados Unidos com seus filhos.
And you can tell that Ingrid was pissed too. She already has a better life here than the life that she will have with you in the US. So no, this is not a price for her. After he says that, she asks him again, I think just to check if he's going to repeat it.
Claro. Sim.
And she's like, you know what? I am done. She gets up and she's like, I'm done with you.
Confia.
And I applaud Ingrid for walking out. And I really hope, Ingrid, that next episode, you don't show up again. Not to see this man again, because he does not deserve your time. He does not deserve your time, your effort, your tears, nothing from you. And let's move on to the next couple. Finally getting Veah and Sunny. I miss these two. I know there's so much drama because of the whole ex-boyfriend thing, but I miss them. Even though Veah had to choose between Rory and Sunny, and she chose Sunny, today she's just like, oh man, I feel so bad that I left Rory over there. And she doesn't necessarily regret it, but she just doesn't want to be making those decisions. She doesn't want to leave Rory behind because this is her best friend. Like, she loves this guy in a friendly way.
That's weird.
But now Sunny is telling Veah that when he's thinking about what happened yesterday, he doesn't really understand why he did what he did, because now he's analyzing the situation and he's like, why did I lose it on Rory? All he wants for you is your safety.
And I behaved the way I shouldn't behave. I did.
Are you okay? Because sometimes, you know, Sunny has those moments where 1 second he'll lose his mind. He'll become so irrational. And then the next day he's like, you know what? Actually, what I did was not okay. And I had time to think about it and I regret it.
I want you as my boyfriend and I want Rory as my friend.
Now, I would tell you that that's kind of impossible. You have to create boundaries. I know that I wouldn't want my partner having a relationship with their ex, but there's better people than me out there, and I'm not one of them. So Sunny tells Veah that what he needs her to understand is that she lied. She doesn't have to bring her friend over here. He doesn't necessarily have an issue with Veah having a relationship with her ex.
Keep your friendship at your home, not here. Just that's what I want.
She should have been honest with him since the beginning. And we already saw that Veah has a really hard time just telling him what exactly is going on. So Veah decides that she's going to call Rory and tell him, hey, you should go back home.
It's the most wonderful time.
Yeah. If you do that,
You can tell the moment Sunny hears this, he's like, heck yes, you could have done this a long time ago and you guys would have avoided a lot of problems, right, Veah? The purpose of Rory leaving is
So we can just have this time to focus on us and our relationship.
hopefully this is really going to help them out and it's just gonna create more of a security for Sunny in regards to their relationship. So Sunny then tells Veah that he wants to meet Rory so he can apologize for how he behaved yesterday. And I was like,
I want to make peace together.
sometimes I just wonder if Sunny is actually real, because he does things like this where now he wants to apologize to Rory because he understands that what he did was not okay. I don't know how I feel about the situation, because at times I do think that Sunny's reaction was granted because, you know, this is his girlfriend and he just feels threatened. But at the same time, it is not Rory's fault that Veah brought him over here. So I do think it's perfectly fine that Sunny is going to apologize to Rory because he doesn't deserve that type of treatment. But at the same time, I'm like, should he apologize? But let me know what you guys think about that. So they have this stupid intro where they put all of them together. So it's Rory, Veah, and Sunny in the intro, like all of them are a couple. What would it be? A trouble?
What have you guys been up to?
Right off the bat, when they get there, it is so awkward. They're just staring at each other like, so what did you guys do yesterday? Did you guys drink water today?
By the way, did you get your flight ticket?
Did, yeah. Flying out tomorrow morning?
I'm glad to hear that.
It looks like they're gonna go on a safari. Right off the bat, Rory is telling us that he's a little nervous, especially because they haven't even talked about what happened. He thinks this is weird that Veah invited him to this safari thing. I think if it was me, I would have brought up the conversation before we went on to the safari, just to make sure that, like, you know, we're gonna have a good time. It's not going to be awkward. There's this moment during the safari where they are all bonding over the fact that Mel Zebra showed everyone their eggplant, and it's just like, it was funny to watch them because they were all laughing. They were comparing it to like pipes. Sunny was mentioning this size of his.
I don't think Sunny has a reason to be jealous. We won't get into it, but you get what I'm saying.
As they're enjoying the safari, Veah needs to take a break because she has to go potty. And while Veah is taking all the time in the world to go potty, Rory and Sunny are having a conversation. And this is when Sunny tells Rory what happened is because of his insecurities, because he's a jealous person, and that the moment that
Once you you're gone, everything will be good.
And Rory tells him to please not say anything he's going to regret. But Sunny doesn't take this to heart, and he just tells him, hey, you know, like, I'm sorry for what I did. I should have never spoken to you the way I did.
Our culture in religion say that if I hurt you, I'd ask you a forgiveness.
Rory tells him that he didn't want the situation to play out that way. He doesn't necessarily tell him, hey, I accept your apology, but I don't feel like he needs to do that. Again, it was Sunny the one that initiated the aggression. It wasn't Rory the one that did it during that conversation. And it's also the fact that Sunny acknowledges that he has problems that he needs to work on, but I just hope it's not going to take him a long time to get through them. You know, it's okay to identify what your problems are, what your issues are, and it's okay for you to apologize. But if it's going to become a repetitive action, then your apology doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. There's this moment where they go into a waterfall. It's a beautiful river. Rory asks him if they have already met Sunny's parents, and Veah right away is like,
He's hiding me.
No, I'm not hiding.
He's embarrassed. Yes, you are.
And when he asked her, why do you think he's embarrassed of you? She says because she's not Muslim and, you know, she has to cover up her tattoos. And she starts bringing up the friend that they met, Sunny's friend. And she's like, well, he told me that I had to cover up my tattoos and dress a little bit more modestly. And Sunny is starting to become a little defensive. You can hear it on his voice.
I'm just asking you to cover it up, your tattoos.
I think what was happening right here is Sunny was like, oh my God, Rory is going to defend Veah. Veah is going to team up with Rory and they're just going to go after me. And I'm here by myself. I already feel like I've been attacked before and now I'm going to get attacked again. But guess what?
I don't think that's too much to ask for, V, especially if it's a cultural thing.
And I agree with him. You cannot expect to go to someone else's home, enter someone else's culture and just be like, I don't care. I don't care. If you're trying to make a good impression with your future in-laws, the least you could do is cover up your tattoos, Veah.
Would you like if somebody told you to cover your tattoos to go around them?
Well, no one is telling him to cover up his tattoos, and he didn't get into a relationship with someone that is Muslim. So no, he's not in your shoes. It's you the one that has to make a decision. If this is not what you want for your life, if this is not what you like, then don't be in a relationship with Sunny.
But being selfish right now.
I'm not a selfish.
After Veah says that, Sunny tells her, well, I have tolerated you. I have put up with all the things that you have done during this trip. And the least that you could do for me is just dress a little modestly and cover your tattoos. That is all I'm asking of you. And Veah's like, fine, I'll do it. But I just want you to know that if you were to come to my family, I wouldn't make you change who you are. I wouldn't want you to be different. But that's not the scenario right now, Veah. You are visiting their homeland, you are visiting their house, and you're going to meet his parents.
I'll take it to my dad. I promise you.
Well, Sunny might be a little bit more lenient with his religion. He says that his dad is very strict. He takes his religion to heart. I'm excited to see how that meetup goes. I'm worried that Veah's not going to please Sunny's parents, but at the same time, I think Sunny is old enough to make a decision by himself.
I'm worried that my dad not gonna like Veah because Veah is not a Muslim.
If this is how you met Veah and you knew that she wasn't Muslim, you knew that she had tattoos, that she didn't dress as modestly as you want her to dress up, you also have to be okay with that. And it's not like Sunny is super religious. So at the end of the day, he's really just doing this for his parents, and props to him. He wants to respect them. He wants to show that he cares about their opinion. Now let's move over to the next couple. While Joey's walking Magda's dog, Magda's already wondering who's going to be her next husband since Joey does not want to marry her just yet. And just kidding. She's actually just daydreaming about marrying Joey and hoping that eventually he's going to change his mind during this 3 weeks. She's in the room picking up all of his clothes because of course Joey couldn't do that and he had to leave a mess on the floor while Joey's walking Magda's dog. He's also telling us that even though the meeting with the friends went okay, he's still so unsure about proposing to Magda.
I'm not going to do that until I'm like 100%. It's way too early to make that decision.
I would say that you have already made a decision that you don't want to propose just yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Joey proposes just so he can get in her pants. It doesn't matter what happens after or the promises that he made to that person. What matters is that he's going to get some sex. Today, Joey and Magda are on their way to Magda's hometown, but Joey does remind us that he needs to have a conversation with Magda about the engagement. I don't know what you're going to tell her that is going to make her realize that you guys are moving too fast. Joey and Magda have arrived to her hometown. He starts asking her questions about her ex. And Magda tells him that they dated for about 3 months before she moved over there. And Joey's like, wow, that's fast. And she's like, yeah, but it was long distance. And if I wouldn't have moved
that fast, I will not find out he will be cheating on me. You know what I mean?
Two things can be true at the same time. You move too fast and you would have never found out if you didn't move over there that he was cheating on you. Joey, after hearing this, he's trying to like convince her that she moves too fast. And this is when Magda's like, yeah, but what does that have to do with this? It has a lot to do with it, Magda. And then she tells him,
I didn't tell like you have to propose me tomorrow.
But at the same time, 3 weeks is not a lot of time. Another thing she says is that
you said to me a few days ago, you want to spend the rest of your life with me.
Then that means that, you know, they have to get married. And I'm just like, I think a lot of us when we're dating, we say things like that. When you're really in love with someone, you'll say things like, I want to be with you for the rest of your life. If I got married to every single person I told I want to be with you for the rest of my life, I wouldn't have my kids right now. I wouldn't be married right now. And that logic just doesn't make sense in my head. And not only that,
about ticket to USA already.
And he already knew. These are things that Joey has already agreed to. And it's just so funny in my eyes that Joey was like, oh yeah, go ahead, buy your plane ticket, come meet my family. And right now he's realizing that Magda wants to move quicker than he was planning to. I'm not saying that Joey has to get married right away, but I am saying that he shouldn't be making promises and he shouldn't be telling her things that he cannot accomplish.
And I will not waste more of my time. Now you make me not want to do anything.
We don't have to get married. You don't have to propose to me. I'm done having this conversation. So of course, it's time for Joey to go ahead and apologize because now she's upset. Something that Magda is doing is incredibly childish, which is like, he's trying to have a conversation with you. He's trying to make you understand that he's not ready for marriage. And she's just like, you know what? I don't want to talk about this no more. I don't want to get married. I don't want you to propose to me. Like, that is a reaction that a child has when they don't get what they want. After they're done with that, Magda goes to her room and the producers follow her and ask her if she's okay. And she's just like,
I didn't do anything wrong.
And what gave you the confidence?
Delusion. I'm such a good person for him all the time.
Want to be with someone that trusts me and someone that is sure about me since the beginning. And I get that. I totally understand that Magda wants that in her life. And I think we all deserve someone that is 100% sure about us. But there is mistakes on your part. And one of them is the fact that you move too quickly. But let me know what you guys think about this. I would love to hear your thoughts. And let's move on to the next couple. After Niles agreed to a wedding that he can't even afford with $109 to his name and no job, Matilda is gonna go get his outfit for the wedding. And they had to ask Matilda's brother for money so they could afford to pay for the clothes. But Niles has to talk to Mr. Ark the next day and try to get some money from him.
If he won't help me pay for the rest of this wedding, I don't know where we go from there.
Bro, don't.
Matilda steps away to go get Niles' suit, and during this time, Niles decides that he's going to call his parents. He has been putting it off since the moment he arrived to Ghana because he just doesn't want to hear from his parents telling him that they don't approve of this marriage. Niles says he was hoping his parents were going to change his mind, but at no point did he update them on anything happening in regards to this whole trip. I think if Niles would have been a little bit more honest with his parents, honest with everyone, because he lies all the time, maybe things would have played out differently. But right now, your parents don't know anything about Matilda. And I do think that his parents should have put in at least some time to get to know Matilda. How are you supposed to know if she's a scammer or not if you don't get to know this girl? Poor girl has been the one getting scammed by Niles. Well, technically lied to, not scam, but in this relationship, the person that has been hurting the other person the most is Niles to Matilda. And you guys didn't even give her a chance. But during this conversation that he's having with his father, you can tell that things are not going well. The producers pan over to Niles' hand and you can tell that he's just like holding on to something. He's clenching, he's moving his fingers. He's giving us a lot of uncomfortable facial expressions because his dad is telling him that this decision he's making is not rational. What he's doing is not okay. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's not ready to be married. And Niles continues to try to explain to his father that he is ready for marriage.
What, should I give it 20 years or something? At least talk to her first before you say that.
If I could design the perfect woman for me, it will be Matilda. After the call is done, the producers ask Niles if he's okay, and this is the answer that we get.
No, I'm pretty far from okay.
To be honest with you guys, I feel horrible for him. If I was his mom, I would at least give him the chance and the opportunity to prove me wrong. Prove me that Matilda is not a scammer. Show me that this is not what's happening.
There is not a word that I can give you to express how painful it is.
It just made me really emotional because autistic people already have a hard time finding love in their life. When your son finds love with a genuine person that cares, that loves him, what more can you ask for? But 6 hours later, Matilda and Niles are in the bed. Niles is restless. And the moment that Niles tells Matilda that his parents still not approve of this marriage, Matilda starts wondering how her life is going to be in the US.
How am I going to live in your country? Oh, it's like I'm worried. It's like my mom is not there.
Everyone's gonna be in Ghana and she's going to be in the US by herself without a support system because Niles is gonna have to step away at times. She's gonna have to be stuck at home. And if she doesn't have anyone, of course she's gonna get homesick.
Now that your son has seen me for real, why can't you agree for us to get married?
I could go on and on. That was all for Matilda and Niles. As always, I want more, but we don't get much from them. And now is Faith and Loren's turn. After Loren betrayed Faith again, Faith is not looking for an answer. Why did this happen? Did it really happen? And what in the world were you thinking when you started flirting in front of my friends?
I am very disappointed because I defend him to my friends.
She was defending Loren in front of her friends and telling them that he's a different person now. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, he's flirting with someone. So they go to the top of the building to have a conversation. And this is when Loren is going to try to excuse his behavior. Right off the bat, Loren is like, I wasn't flirting with anyone. And Faith tells him, well, are you saying that my friend lied?
It was outside or inside?
Outside.
And I'm over here thinking like, were you flirting inside? Is that why you're questioning where it was? And once Faith says outside, he's like, well, I wasn't flirting with no drag queen.
I talked to those kids.
So Loren's story is that some teenagers walked up to him. One of the boys was like, hey, my friend here thinks you're handsome, which was a girl with the striped dress, which is like, how do you know and how do you remember so much information, Loren?
I walked over to her and did one of these. I actually did.
Put his hand on her neck and was like, you're too young for me. I'm here for my girlfriend. First of all, why are you touching a teenager in the first place? The moment a teenager comes up to you and goes, hey, I find you attractive, you don't entertain this. You don't touch the teenager. You shouldn't even approach the teenager. If anything, you should have walked away. But
I don't believe you regarding to that.
The gonorrhea, the sleeping around. You just told my friends that you've been with 7 girls the whole time that we were talking.
We're on thin ice. Why on earth would I do that when I'm here to be with you?
He's like, oh, if I wanted to risk a relationship, I would have left with the drag queen. And first of all, no, I don't believe anything that comes out of your mouth. I definitely do think that if you wanted to flirt with someone, you would have just flirted with them because Faith is going to forgive you at the end of the day. Faith has already shown that her standards are incredibly low to the floor, that she will forgive many things that you do. And I think you take advantage of that.
I was drinking and I shouldn't have got that close. to her.
Face to face, Loren is apologizing to Faith, saying that he should have never done that in the first place, should have never said anything, not even entertained it. But on his confessional, he's saying that he doesn't see anything wrong with it.
I don't think I did anything wrong. I was having a conversation with a girl, turning her down.
And this is something that Loren does over and over again. He'll apologize to Faith to her face, and then on his confessionals or off screen, he'll say other things.
Is this so much that you can't get over it?
That question pissed me off so much. Is this so much that you can't get over? It's not just this, Loren. It's many other things that you have done. But of course,
So maybe next time, can I do that?
I want you girls out there and the guys that are in relationships like this ones, it doesn't get any better. It gets worse. We're seeing right now how Loren continues to escalate. And then he goes, sorry, and she forgives him. And he also tells her that,
and hopefully by then I have a ring on, and then I'll be like, look, I'm married.
Again, throwing the marriage out there so she knows how much he wants to marry her so he can stay in the Philippines. And after he cries a little bit because he's so emotional because he's about to leave in a couple days, Faith says that seeing him so hurt and so emotional makes her realize how much he cares for her. Faith, wake up. He's crying so you feel bad for him. He's not crying because he's sorry. But that is all we get for today. It was actually shorter than usual, which I'm so thankful for, guys. And in the next episode, it looks like Loren is going to propose to Faith.
And at the end of the string, there's a ring.
And if Faith says, yes, guys, I'm gonna cry. I am genuinely going to cry. Joey tells Magda that the only reason why he doesn't want to have the marriage conversation is because she has not slept with him just yet.
Propose to me because we don't have sex.
No, it doesn't make it confusing. I mean...
Niles is going to ask Mr. Unk for money, and he's gonna look at him like, why did you choose to marry in the first place if you didn't have money for it? Brian is going to regret his decision.
Okay, it says, you know.
Veah is gonna show up with traditional attire to meet Sunny's dad, and he's going to tell her that he does not want her marrying his son because she is not Muslim. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. Brian pissed me off. I cannot stand that man. Loren also did. And oh my God, I felt so bad for Niles and his family not accepting him. Let me know what you guys think. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know your thoughts on this episode. Bye. Oh, thank you to my members. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all.